Rahubat Yasar. My name is Sanan Ptah, student teacher of the master teacher, Panabab Yanun, His Excellency, Dr. Malachi Z.K. York Okran, 33 degrees, Baba Yanun. We will begin with this Shadows reading, and it starts. My beloved Nuwapians of Wu-Nuwap, divine children of Pa Muntaru. This is the formation of Zakar, Cadman, Adapa, Adamu, and Nikebor, Chawa, Hawa, Titi, Eve. 1. Lahuj, observe, Nudimud, Ea, Inki, commanded the Elohim, Alihat, Anakim, Anunnaki, who was a Rabar of the Il, Reborim, Gabriel, Jibrael, Nusku, or Nahushki, the one who in his own being transports the genes of others from Kasal, Maskal, Sahat, Orion star constellations from Nibiru, planet craft of Pa Anuna. 2. Nusku, or Nahushki, who became attribute Gabriel, was sent with the seed in his own being, as his attribute means Na, or Nu, which means strong, Hush, Mush, which means flying, Ki, which means earth, by In, master, Ki, earth, from An, or Anu, the highest one, to form the flesh body, that is to inform, take from his genes and implant into another male to be ejaculated into an earth-born female in a 3-parent conception. 3. To take part in the graftation of a new and last humanoid, Homo canine, Homo porcine, Homo simian, Homo saurus, reptilian, mammalian, Adapa. 4. On this planet, or Plan ET, Sector 24 of the dust or dried red blood cells of the ground, or Iridu, Earth, later called the Adama Project of the red soil or seed of planet Earth, blood clot, cell and fashioned into shape in the womb and cloned. 5. This was the making of the ruddy, reddish, flush, pale, fair-skinned race of Adamites, of Adama, the ground, by Nudimud, Inki, son of Anu, Antu. And he was made by the genetics of aliens such as Nima, Ninhursag, daughter of Anu and Si, and the one who did the lab work with Nahushki, Nusku, was the subject of Ningishzida, Jahutui, son of Inki and Hisat. 6. And the carrier of Inki was Nusku, Nahushki, Nusku, Gabriel, son of Raziel and Zamael. 7. By the ground is meant of the planet Earth's soil, an earthling called Adama. 8. This is speaking of his physical creation or being made of the Sans people, the making of a new being, for there was already living persons on planet Earth for millions of Earth years before 6,000 years ago, or 4,000 BC. The Earth of the birth of Adam on the 6th day of the 6th month of Tammuz, the year 3761, or 3761 BCE, the making of the white race from those already here upon the planet Earth. 9. And know that the very soil of the ground for the making of a mold or shell body of a being, the dust, the mud, the clay, the loam, has in it life of many kinds. 10. The mud and clay or dust is symbolic of the contents of damam, blood, or jalat, clot. 11. In actual fact, Adam was born of a woman, As their own Bible says, Book of Job, chapter 14, verse 1, Adam, man, that is born of a female, woman. 12. This was Lilith, wife of Atum. Lilith being a Cuthite, Atum being a Atumite. They were of Pa-Dravadu, the Indians, who was of Pa-Nagaru, the Africans, Mungaru, Negroids. 13. And the mixing of Pa-Kamahu, the Pleiadians. 14. Dehydrated blood turns into brown dust particles. And this is how the hematologist would transport blood to be reactivated by simply mixing the water together for life. Thus, you have man being created of water, dust, or dirt, soil, to become mud. The same is done in the test tube with cell-extracted DNA. 15. The extracts from the eggs or clot is necessary for the cloning process as well as cross-breeding to make hybrids. 16. With this procedure, Pa-Anuna called Ningishzida with Nahushki, who proceeded on wings of haste, or in a speeded kabad, which is a craft, glorious cloud of Anu, from Nibiru, by way of Maskal, Kassal, or Orion. 17. Nahushki, Nusku, traversing the constellations of the skies and elemental orbs. 18. Upon arriving on the surface of the planet Earth, then called Terra, Ti-Wawat, Ta-Mara, Taha, Mayai, Reye, Tamare. 19. Nahushki went to the rulers of the Atumites and Kuthite tribes of Dravadu, Mudruadu, by the far two rivers. 1, the Idiglat, which is the Tigris, and 2, the Furatu, which is the Euphrates, where he was living with Pa-Nafalu, Munfalu, the Nephilim, the fallen ones, of the Anunnaki, who were the Igigi, or Ikiki, the cherubim, known as the Halalu, Muhlalu, Luciferians, or Wayans. 20. To ask their ruler Atum, or Kuth, and his consort ruler Lilith, if they would allow them to breed a tea or seed from them. 21. Mother Earth, as she, Lilith, was known, refused. 22. Yet Nusku stretched forth his humble hands to execute the commands he had received from his own master, Nudemud Ea, Inki, then ruler of that part of the planet Earth. 23. This fearful attempt moved the vapors imprisoned in the bowels of the planet Earth. 24. And it caused a terrible earthquake and strife between the elders and the seed of Atum, father of Zakar, Cadman, Adapa, Adam. 25. The soil inquired of this one Nusku, who replied it was on the behalf of Nudemud Ea, Inki, son of Anu. 26. Nudemud Inki, one of the Anuna, the sustainer of glory, that is, who came first to this part of the earth in his kabad, glory of Anu, intended to make a Lulu Amilu, or primitive worker, from you, from that group, the Anuna. 27. To dignify his head with the diadem, the crown or royal headband of successorship, Pa-Khalafu or Mukhlafu, to have dominion for 6,000 years, to rule Ki in Inki's place. 28. And to adorn his stature with the luminous skin and scaly hide or horny outer skin, the illustrious reptilian image. 29. So with that earthling Atumites enjoined, I have to take refuge with the source from you, Nudemud. I adjure you by the source, the true sustainer, Anu, to desist from this purpose. 30. Lest he, Enki, son Ningishzida, create of me an individual who would, like the sons of the disagreeable beings, create mischief, shed blood, and cause chaos. 31. Who are also reptilians, such as 1. Mudganu, snakemen. 2. Mudbabu, lizardmen. 3. Mutnanu, dragon. 4. Mudgagu, fishmen. Those we know as Ushum Gal or Urshim Gal, illuminated sky beings of the mighty strong wheels. 32. Those Ushum Gal who attempted the stratagems of disobedience to the galactic rules of us all and would consequently be punished and condemned. 33. I, Atum, have not the personal power to resist the wrath of Nu-Im-Nir, or Enlil, son of Anu, half-brother of Nudimud, Enki, older son of Anu and Nimul of the house of Alelu. 34. The punishment of Anu, or Elion El, Al-Alay, the most high ruler of the Anuna, Elohim, Alihad, the Anakim, Theo, gods. 35. And their own offsprings. 1. Safar. 1. Seraphim, the illuminated ones. 2. Karab, which are the cherubim, close ones. 3. Afar, Ifirim, the watchers. 36. Nahushki, Nusku, Gabriel, heard the entreaties of the earth people, Atumites, the Kuthites, and he sympathized with their helplessness. This was to be the beginning of this last race, 4000 BC, the end of this last race, 2000 AD, the end times from 2000 to 2060 AD. 38. And so Nahushki returned by the same way that he descended and incarnated. 39. And laid his information before Anu, the Most High One. 40. By permission of Nudimud, Enki, who is to bring forth this new being, mortal beings. 41. The Anunnaki, Marduk, son of Enki and Damkina, or Ninki, daughter of Alelu, also returned. 42. He had also descended to the earth from Nibiru. 43. The exact same conversation took place between him, Marduk, and Atum, the planet Earth's people, as with Nahushki, Nusku, Gabriel. 44. So likewise the Anunnaki Marduk returned. 45. Then the Anunnaki Enki, son of Anu, and Nimal, or Id, who bore the title, was on the same errand. 46. The planet Earth people ruler, Atum, of the Kuthites, again implored and began to lament and to cry. 47. Enki said, "It is more incumbent upon me to obey the nourisher Anu than to take pity on you." 48. So accordingly, Enki collected a handful of black mud and blood cells, that is the flesh and blood of Dravadu, and he fashioned, cloned, bred the Adam, ruddy, reddish, flush, pale, fair skin, new race, that was acting on the part of the approval of Anu, the sustainer, and Most High Creator himself. 49. Then the Dangir, or the elders under Enki, moved the disagreeable mortals, Atum and his consort Lilith, into the city of security, Shalem, in the pure place, Kadash, from the Idiglat, Tigris, and Furatu, Euphrates, the east world valley, to breed a son. 50. These are the workings of extraterrestrials, aliens, that the seed of Adamites call deities, deity, gods, God, lords, Lord, in many dialects to date. 51. And the books that this race and their hybrids have given: 1. Tanakh of Moses, 2. Evangelion of Jesus, 3. Quran of Muhammad, was given to them and their followers by extraterrestrials. 52. Many of the real books were hidden from them today of the religions of 1. Abrahamism, 2. Mosesism, 3. Jesusism, 4. Paulism, 5. Muhammadism. and they keep the stone tablets of Sumeria from them, and seek to destroy these, because they reveal the true, complete story, or his story of their making, and to whom and when and where, as well as why. 53. These are the followers and their many subgroups. 1, Jews. 2, Christians. 3, Muslims. Don't have a clue of the real stories of the books they now read is mistranslations, and will never understand what happened in the past 49,000 years, or the last Jubilee, 50,000 years, 2 cycles. 54. Those of the East world, or carnivores, were and are by their unnatural natures disagreeable, and as such live by faith, their beliefs. 55. Those of the West world, or herbivores, were and are by our natural nature agreeable, and as such we live by facts, our fate. 56. The Kuthites are of the East world, the Ptahites are of the West world. 58. So also the agreeable rulers of mortals, Ptah, and his consort, Anath, were taken from South Africa up the White and Blue Niles to Havila, Sudan, then to Nippur, Arcadia, and Sumeria, Ur of Chaldea. Then there's a diagram that's titled The Secret Symbol of the Disagreeable Alien Triads of Deception. And as you can see, there's 3 circles, 1, 2, 3. Within each one, at the top we have Mosesism, apportion, denominations, sects, world chaos. We have Christism, groups, and we have Mohammedism. So they all merge, as you can see in the middle, world chaos, sects, denominations, groups. Then there's a second diagram. The first states equinox, 24,000 years, equinox, 24,000 years, 48,000 year, a jubilee, 50,000, 6,000 years, 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 6,000 years broken up, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, which says, in this portion of 6,000 years, it says Adamites, 6,000 year dominion of faith and beliefs. That one 6,000 year section. Continuing, verse 59, which is one of the cities in Kadash, which means pure place, or laboratories, where the scientific and genetic experimentation and research took place by aliens, many years before this last race was to be made. 60. So this was for the purpose to breed a daughter. 61. They were placed in different places, that is Zakar and Nikebal, so they wouldn't know each other until they are at the right age. 21 for him and 18 for her of their race. 62. The humanoid side of the Adamite race is by way of the Pleiadians. 63. The reptilian side of the Adamites race is by way of the Anunnaki. 64. Then to shape their needed nature, there was crossbreeding into them of the canine, wolves, dog, the porcine, hogs, pig, the simians, the mandrill, or ape. 65. Much grafting and separating took place to make a man in their own image and to act like them. 66. After the birth of a daughter of mixed seed, or Titi, seed of my own seed, meaning Ninhursag's own seed. 67. And her seed or blood was also from Adapa, as they exchanged body fluids as taught to Titi by way of Ningishzida, master of the tree of extended life, who introduced Titi to the red me stone or disc, and the sacred art of Hinduism, Kama Sutra, and tantric arts of sexual pleasures. 68. Also, of Adapa's own marrow, bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh, they, Ninhursag and Enki, called her Nikebal, for she had the seed of Ninhursag, and he had the seed of Enki, and they both had the seed of Anu. 69. Adam was born in Havilah, or Sudan's Tuti, at the junction of the two Niles in Africa. 70. Eve was born in Absu, or Zimbabwe, at the beginning of that same Nile River in Africa. 71. Both was moved more than once to arrive at the land of Punt, Arabia, and into the pure city of Mecca, the Ganan Adan, enclosed garden of pleasures and delights, where all the aliens vacationed and displayed their own creations. 72. Titi was also mixed with Kishite from Ptah and Havilite from Anath, who were her birth parents. 73. The actual genetic breeding and splicing. 74. Thus, it is in a laboratory on the planet Lahmu, which is Mars, in the laboratory Shimti. 75. Thus it is said, Adapa was created in the heavens before the earth. It speaks of the lab works. 76. Nuapians, how was this great task undertaken? 77. When the scientists took the seed of Ninhursag, Ninti, and bred her with Adiura, the Homo sapiens, the 16th seed of the Adama project. 78. After taking genus Homo to Homo erectus to Homo sapien Nordics. 79. The Homo sapiens was mixed with the seed of the Anunnaki. 80. This was the process. 81. When this new seed of Ninhursag, Nima, Ninti, and Adiuru was ready for the transport from heaven to key earth, it was brought down to the planet Earth. And this gene or cell was genetically spliced into the DNA of Atum, the ruler of the Atumites. Also into the DNA of Ptah, the ruler of the Kishites. 82. In time, Ptah gave birth to the daughter called Nikebal, meaning tribal leader. 83. And Atum gave birth to the son Zakar, meaning one who will remember. 84. As for Cadman means he who was moved eastward, or from the west world to the east world, from Havilah to Punt. 85. As for Adapa means he who's able to learn. 86. As for Adam means he who lost his reptilian skin and is bloody, reddish, ruddy, pale, fair skin. 87. His attributes changed as he was moved from Sudan to Mecca, to Ubar, to Iridu. 88. The chemists, Anunnaki Nergal, son of Enki and Ninki, he was also called Irigal, and his consort Ningal. 89. Nergal and Arishkigal, or Ireshkigal, had perfected the genes of Adapa to make his offspring, 30 sons and 30 daughters, bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh, made in his own likeness and image. Genesis chapter 5, verse 3. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness after his image, and called his name Seth. End quote, King James Version. '90. So, he was put into a deep sleep state, and the chemists went into the marrow of his bone, and they extracted a cell from his blood to create his counterpart, Nikebal. 91. These newly formed beings were to be placed in a habitat called an enclosed garden, one of the many, and at a certain age to be watched and groomed until ready to have a sex to procreate. 92. There were many aliens who all dealt with this planet Earthling. They were called Anuna, And in the Bible, they are renamed Elohim. And in the Quran, Alihat. These extraterrestrials are thought to be deities and gods. 93. In the laws to civilize them, the heads are few. These are what the books of the Bible and Quran rename these Anunnaki. Anu in the Bible is Elion El. In the Quran, Al-Alay. Enki in the Bible is Yahweh. In the Quran, Arab. Enlil in the Bible is Baal. In the Quran, Baal. 94. In the laws to civilize the Adamite race, they were given many stone tablet scrolls, which were shortened by their own followers too. And they all expired in the year 2000 AD. 1. The Old Testament, Jewish. 2. The New Testament, Christians. 3. The Last Testament, Islamic. And in each, the many extraterrestrials were first made into males only, and then from many into one deity. 1. Eloah, or Il, equals Hebrew. 2. Theos, or Heperiko, equals Greek. 3. Allah, or Ilah, equals Arabic. 95. They hid the truth and spread the lies. They destroyed many of the originals and presented only what those chosen said they remembered. They avoid the Sumerian stone tablets for mistranslations from language to dialects, and the true meanings are now lost to them. So they teach, live by faith, trust us, don't investigate for yourself, just believe. 96. From their original given religions, Hinduism to a new form, Zoroastrianism, onto Canaanitism or Hebrewism, onto Christism, onto Mohammedanism, and then divide into many sub-denominations, all who have lost their way and now live in ignorance of their true extraterrestrial makers. 97. The Adamite is called the original Asiatic black man, the Hindu, yet with a reddish skin hue. Thus the attribute Adam or Edom, red and ruddy, and fur, not nappy hair, fur like beast. 98. When Nudumud Ea Enki, the Anuna, also called Israel, arrived, Genesis chapter 1 verse 2, in his glorious whirlwind, shining brightly, craft, Kabad, at the glorious place, the landing site called Baalbek, in the east world, in the land of Laban, White's land, or Lebanon. It was called later Earth, and that was from Sumerian cuneiform. It's Iridu. That also changed with dialects of the Europeans, the Adamites. It became Old High German Erda, and Middle English it became Earth. In Greek it became Era. In Aramaic it became Irids. And in Hebrew, Iritz. And in Arabic, Art. Then to Old English, Earth. On into American, Earth. Misunderstood as the whole planet, when in actual facts it is only meant as Mesopotamia, Iridu. E, abode, Ri, far away, Du, bonded. So in actual facts, Iridu means an abode in a faraway place to build. It did not mean the whole planet, only the original place of Enki's landing site in Baalbek, Belos. 99. In Baal, or Bali, or even Bel, which means owner, first it was Enlil's attribute. Later it became Marduk's attribute, who in the Bible was called Michael, and in the Quran, Mikael. And among the Anuna, he was known as Gal-Zu, strong in wisdom. Yet the Bible and Quran use Baal for Nu Imnir, or Enlil, and the garden was also called Bali. 100. Once Enki had arrived on the planet, Genesis chapter 1 verse 2, and Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 23 to 28, and he made contact with the mother craft, Nibiru, and communed, Exodus chapter 25, verse 22, after setting up the altar for communications to Nibiru, and spoke with Anu. 101. He was asked whether the people of this planet had this time taken refuge with himself or not. 102. Nudimud Ia Inki replied to Anu. 103. Yes. 104. And Anu, Elion al-Alay, said, 105. If they took refuge with me, Anu, from you, Enki, Yahweh of the Elohim, Rab of the Alihad, or Lord of the gods, In of the Anunah. 106. Why did you, Enki, not spare him at Tum? 107. Enki, Yahweh, Rab, El, Elo, Allah, replied. 108. I deemed obedience to you, Anu, more necessary than pity for him. Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. And I quote, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. End quote, King James Version. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 23 to 28, King James Version. Exodus chapter 25, verse 22, King James Version. 109, Anu, the Most High, the highest. Psalms chapter 82, verse 1 through 8, King James Version. 110, depart, for I have as now made you Anuna of death, in an etheric form for all times over the Adamite race. 111, I, Anu, have placed the taking of the soul of Adam and his seed's spirits into your power. 112, at these words, the Anunnaki Enki, now called Israel, began to weep, saying, 113, amongst the children of Adam called the Adamites, Sethites, Enosites, Canaanites, and Edomites, and many other tribal attributes, there will be those sent as news bearers who will undoubtedly hate me on this account. 114, however, Anu, Elion al-Alay, rejoined. 115, I will send so many complaints and diseases among them that the Adamites will not hate you, and none of their deeds will be a cause of grief to you at all. 116, for this loud lamentations is forbidden, yet there is no harm in weeping for the dead, yet patience is better. 117, it is a curse upon the people who wail, those around them who listen to them. Enki condemned the seed of the Adamite to be bound to earth after death. Revelation chapter 18, verse 2. With the fallen Ikiki. Revelation chapter 12, verse 7 through 12. Trapped spirits unable to rise above. They are ghosts, orbs, specters, haunting. Revelation chapter 18, verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean, hateful bird. King James Version. Revelation chapter 12, verse 7 through 12. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. That's King James Version. Truth is truth. No faith can replace fact. And that concludes the Shadows reading.
Okay, you said Anu and Enki were Inki's parents.
Say that again.
Anu and Anti were parents of Inki.
Two.
They were the ones with the genetics of aliens? Or was it Inki?
According to this too. It says Anu and Antu. Nudamud, Inki, son of Anu and Antu. That's spelled A-N-T-U.
Oh, okay. So also you said that Inki was Yahweh and that someone else was Baal?
Tua. And Lil would be Baal in their Bible as well as in their Quran.
So
these
Yahweh,
are other attributes that they're known by in those books.
So Yahweh is a god, any god. Baal is what?
Lord. It has different meanings. When you look at Baal, for instance, in their Bible, one meaning is Lord. It has various meanings. That's the importance of accessing the Hebrew Strong's Concordance, because you can see the different Aramic or Hebrew Chaldean words that's utilized. But in English, we'll just see Lord, but we don't know what Aramic or Hebrew word is there for Lord. So that's the importance of having access to a Bible concordance where you have the Greek and access to the Hebrew as well.
So considering Inki is connected to Melchizedek, who's connected to Panabab, would you say that a Yahweh is a lesser evil than a Baal?
I wouldn't say that because it's a title. So when you deal with that title, it just means Lord. You have some Yahwehans that are positive or agreeable, and you have those that are disagreeable. But
same with the Baal.
Too. No, Baal in particular was given reference to Enlil. So that's dealing with Enlil. But when you deal with the word Yahweh or these Yahwehans, these lords can be positive or negative or disagreeable and agreeable. So it's not specified. So when you say Yahweh, it's not like, okay, that's evil. But the confusion in their scripture, they don't let you know who's speaking when. They just give you the word Lord in English.
Right.
But rather than, clarify it by saying, okay, that's Enki speaking right there. That's Enlil speaking right there. That's Nusku speaking there. They don't let you know who's speaking when.
Okay. In this case, Enki is still a disagreeable. Enki is still a disagreeable.
No, not for us.
No, not Enki. No. I meant to say Enlil.
Tua.
Okay.
Tua.
In previous, Enki's parents was usually known as Anu and Id. So my question is Antu another name for Id?
That I'm not familiar with. From my studies, Antu was the mother of Enlil. But like I said, if that's a typo, we'll get clarity on that. But previously, Anu and Antu were the parents of Enlil. Anu and Id gave birth to Enki. But like I said, I'm not sure if that's a typo or not. So we'll get clarity on that portion. But good points brought up. But we'll definitely get clarity on that because that may be a typo.
Yahweh was Enlil.
Enki.
Okay.
Just repeat the title.
Tua. This is the Holy Tablets revision. Tua. This is a section of the Holy Tablets revised. Tua. I know something. Before we conclude, there was a let my words be known. I just want to read this one before we conclude. It was sent out via email yesterday, so I'm sure a lot of you probably already received it. For the benefit of those who may not have heard it, I'm going to relay it. So let my words be known. From Panabab Yanun, His Excellency Dr. Malachi Z.K. York, Okran, 33 degrees. And it begins, I laid down my life for you all. Let my words be known. I want you to make note of this actual fact. Over the past 15 years, those that have the most to say are in fact doing the least. And as far as my freedom, by that I mean they have all the questions, yet none of the answers. Many come up over and over with these. I got a plan, yet I can't tell anyone because only I can be trusted with my plan. Not even I, Panababianun, am told these secret plans that never turn out to help me in any way, shape, or form. Just, I got this or that. I'm talking to this guy or person who said they can do this or that for Pops. It never comes true. It only comes up when word is out that something is going on for me. Over and over, they make these secret claims. Nothing ever comes of them. Next, you have those who, if asked exactly how much did you personally spend on the case, not used others' hard-earned money, you, yourself. How much did you spend? Not a thing. Just mouth, and this includes many. What lawyers did you, yourself, hire? I mean, many, if they were asked straightway, what is your plan to free Pops legally? None hire a lawyer, none spent a dime out of their own. Some have lived 15 years off of me, my face, my name, my works. Yet if asked exactly what have you initiated that I can read for him? Not just input on others' projects. What have you started? Not a thing. Now you have these persons. My sister Dale, she hired a legal firm. Her son, Kedar, put up some money for that in the very beginning, the Garland firm. She did that for me. Tabby Jet, she hired the Brownstone firm. And Janet hired Lita Holden. Rochelle and Nifu hired Adrian Patrick. Zenitra hired Jawe and Sanwabi. Lisa hired Tina Foster. Rochelle and Nifu hired Regina that McKean speaks with. I don't know who hired Shabazz and his friend, or the other Euro-American lawyer, I forgot his name, or who hired the attorney Dwight something from Augusta, Georgia, who taped Abigail's recantment, mentioned, or others. Now my point is, I never hired not one of these legal firms. Sakina hired Mr. Tucker, I forgot that one. And with all that outpouring of money over the 15 years, not one thing changed nor improved for me. Most did not come out of their own pockets, used others' money. So when you look at people who claim, I love Pops, I wish Pops was out, and you ask them, well, if that is true, show me in black and white exactly what did you yourself do to make that happen, other than talk or help someone who claimed they had a project or plan. That is my point. None would work together. Each claims, I don't trust him or her. They did not even trust me to tell me their plan, plot, project, big secret, never comes to pass. You have some who say, I give up on Pops. He is never getting out. What they really mean is, I can't make a profit off of Pops. Those women got him under their control. It's all about what these people want to use me for. So they hate others who use me in their own way. Those who live off of me, yet really do nothing to free me. In fact, hold back progress in many ways. So you have two kinds. One, who is mad at me because I won't let them use me. The other, use me and do nothing to free me because they fear being exposed. You see, most don't think I see all this or these games. I do. And it includes many. They're all playing this game, and onlookers are mad at you all too. If someone, female, comes to help, Seems not long after they're pushed out. And the blame game pops up. I'm not to blame, it's said. Or people just don't like us, it's said. Why? I don't know. Maybe they're jealous because I'm all that. No, that is not it. Wake up. They see you use me, and you get nothing done for me. Yet have so much to say, sneaking around, doing all kinds of strange things, seen with guys, disappearing, spending, playing money games. And people see you guys, that house has not hired anyone. Nor do you yourself have a project, only join onto others and try to take over to look as if you want me free. People see it. I see it. The children see it. And it must stop to start all over the right way. So now, the very first time that I hired a legal team myself, that being Victoria and Mario, who came not asking for a dime at first, came out of their own pockets, lost their home, spent their money to come visit me, wrote me again and again, sent me paper to write on, envelopes to send out. None of the other legal teams did that. Most did not write or update me. They charged for phone calls, visits, letters, and got not a thing done. Who cares? After all, most who have the most to say are not spending their own money. They come to the balls, always planning some get-together, gathering of people, food, fun, music, a means to meet new sisters. Made up for a year, screw, then pass to the next. Yes, that is another game from woman to woman. You see it? I see it. Games. So now I hire them myself. What is the first thing to happen? Attack. Attack them. Distrust. Scheme. Scheme on them. Try to get them to leave. Who is behind this? Those who have not spent one dime out of their own pockets, or those who can't make a profit off of my image or works. They step up and attack. The first firm that I myself hire, that I trust, who did not come with, if I don't get my money, I can't help him. He can rot in there. If I don't get paid, that is the lawyers. They trust lawyers who took our people's money, and over the years did nothing but create bills by phone, visit, letters, yet no outcome in my favor. And have the nerve to say, where's the rest of the money you owe me? For not winning. They got nothing done, yet expect to get paid more. That is a lawyer's game, playing on the emotions for a person you care about. Look at this. You walk into a store to buy a book called Free Him. Okay, you ask the store owner, do you have that book? I want free someone. He says, I had it, let me, it costs $100 USD. Give me $25 and I will go look in his own store. You give him $25. He walks off and says, still looking, I will call you if I find one. You give him your phone number. Go home, he calls, still looking. This call is $10. Call again, still looking, another $10. I am coming by you to see you. That costs $25. On and on. Finally, he says, nope, could not find that book, so sorry. Yet, you have to pay me the balance of the $100 for me looking and not finding it. You're actually playing him for knowing him. That is the game, and they played us 15 years. That way, where are they now? You call Lita, Sanwabi, Jawe, Tina, Tucker, all say the same thing. You have a balance to pay me before I can help him. Do they seem to care about me? Yes or no? No, not at all. I'm just another client to them. I could die right now or tap out, and they will say, oh, I'm sorry, and move on to their next customer. That is how the game is played in the so-called legal system or game. Now I hire this firm. Will all help and support them, or will it be? I don't trust him. He said this in the past. I think they only want our money. Mind you, money that none of these people put up, others' money. Well, I know I make myself clear. Now, for all who really care, we have and had the facts on our side. It's just we never had lawyers who really care to free me and stop the payments, you nuts. Well, this team, they really want me free. This I know. This I feel, and I say, whoever really wants me free, support this team. You will see the ones with private gain have so much to say, yet don't have a project of their own, nor do they come out of their own pockets, just chaos, separation, slander. Why, like the other lawyers, they live off of me. Why, like the other lawyers, they live off of me in some way, shape, form. This is your real one. Luster, can I make money? 2, luster, can I meet new people? This is the real deal. We do have the legal facts. You all just did not use a legal team that really cared to free me. We will do it with or without you. If I die trying, we will win. Baba Yanun, Pops, I love you all. Do you really love me? Yes or no? That is the real question. Truth is truth. I lay down my life for you all. Let my words be known. Did everybody hear that? Anyone not hear that one before? Everybody heard that one, right? Who didn't hear that one? Everybody. Okay, good. So that concludes with that, let my words be known. So with that, Yasar, everyone travel safe. Until next time, I do.
Yeah.